welcome everyone that's been patient as we've worked out a few of the kinks, but we're grateful for those that are live, those that are watching on a recording. This is our January Side by Side Sunday, and we've got such a treat for everyone. We've got the admins of the Brightest Eaters for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that is Beth Monroe, it's Wendy Reynolds, Roxanne Williams, Stacy Fiala, Vanessa Knuckles, myself, Alicia Christensen, Diana Hawes, and we've got some emeritus. We've got Genevieve Campbell and Peggy Moore. Right now, we're going to start out with a great video of the transformations of our admin group. So we'll go ahead and turn it over to Vanessa, who created this amazing video.
Did anyone order me? Oh, that's sorry, there was sound issues with Zoom, but
Yep, the Zoom gremlins came again. But here's the good thing. You can hum to yourself as you watch that, and it works just as well. Beautiful job. Thank you, Vanessa, for doing that. All right, just some housekeeping things. Try and stay muted unless you're sharing. And just a reminder that this group, the Brightest Eaters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is not to replace Bright Line Eating. What we say is our opinions and not the opinions of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints or of Bright Line Eating officials. So we just want to make sure that that's understood. We are a safe place to discuss some of the culture of the church and some of the aspects of Bright Line Eating and bring them together. And the purpose of this meeting is to show you how much how much is available to everybody that is a part of this Facebook group. The resources, the tools, the support, the motivation, the inspiration, the guidance. There's so much available to everyone. And so I don't think everyone fully realizes what we provide to everyone willingly, lovingly. None of us get paid. This is just purely something that we're doing because we are so passionate about it. So at this particular time, we're going to go ahead and turn the time over to Beth Monroe. First of all, I want to tell you what these people do. So Beth is in charge. First of all, she's the boss. She's the mastermind. She's the one that came up with this amazing idea of bringing the Latter-day Saints that are doing Bright Line Eating under one umbrella. And we are so grateful for her inspiration. Beth does the Facebook Lives. They're amazing. She also shares in those Facebook Lives upcoming events as well as helpful information. She also takes care of the hashtags, which she's going to explain to us, as well as the Welcome Wednesdays. So, Beth, go ahead and explain a little bit about all those.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining us today. So yeah, a couple of my responsibilities. I'm the boss of them all. I don't know what that really means, but I'm just so blessed to be surrounded by these amazing, wonderful, loving women that just enrich my life so much. One of my responsibilities is to get on Facebook Live and just kind of, update you on what's coming up, what's happening. If you have something that you would like to be broadcast on a Facebook Live, then just reach out to me. Let me know if there's something that we can do to serve and help you. And also, every Wednesday, we do a welcome post for all of our new people. And we have a steady stream of people coming into our group, and it's just wonderful. And I do send out a message to each one of those people to let them know about the resources that we're going to talk about tonight, some of the resources that we offer. And it's just a blessing to be able to welcome everybody to us. And we have a lot of people that are members of the church. And we also have some that are not members of the church, and just so many friends and so many people. So thank you for joining us. And hashtags, we have a number of hashtags that you can use to search for the different things that, the different, we have like a weekly, and we'll go through it, but there's hashtags that if you put that in the search bar in the Brightest Eaters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you can go back and see all of the past posts that deal with that topic. So, that's a little bit about what I do. Shauna, you're muted still.
Beth, how many people approximately do we have in our group?
We have about 2,400 people in our Facebook group.
Isn't that fun? Did you ever envision that would be that many that you'd have?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This group was started back in July of 2017. And I believe we had about 5 members to begin with, about 5 members, and it grew. It was slow growing at first, but it's really just taken off. And so it's amazing.
What is something that if you had a magic wand and you could make sure that everybody, all those 2,400 people, were fully utilizing all of the resources that this group offers, what would you hope for them to get out of all of these resources?
I think the most important thing is the connection. And it's connection with Bright Line Eating, but it's also connection with our Savior. And so I hope that every single person that comes into our group, they feel that connection, and they feel that just the love, they feel that friendship and that connection, and that it brings them closer to Jesus Christ, and it brings them closer to Bright Line Eating, right? To being able to follow and gain strength for their program.
I would agree. Thank you, Beth. Just a side note, Vanessa was so cute because as she was gathering the videos or the pictures for the video, she nicknamed each of us, and she nicknamed Beth the Gatherer. So I just see Beth as this hen, this little mother hen, with all of us being her little chicks underneath. So I think that was a very fitting nickname. All right, Wendy Reynolds. So Vanessa nicknamed Wendy as our team spirit with, well, this is me, team spirit, but team spirit with spunk is what I consider Wendy. So Wendy is over our YouTube channel, and she's also in charge of the Come Follow Me posts, which if none of you have seen the Come Follow Me posts, you're missing out. So Wendy, would you like to expound a little bit about the YouTube channel and how far back it goes, what's available, what they can find there? And then as far as the Come Follow Me posts, yeah, just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the YouTube channel we started 2 years ago, and we have 113 subscribers. Those are people that actually subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when when we post a new interview. Tonight, this side-by-side panel discussion will go up on YouTube, and if you're a subscriber, you'll learn about it. We have 45 videos up there already with over 5,000 views, and our top videos that have been viewed are the number one is Shauna's breakout that she did a few years ago on maintenance, the transition into maintenance. The number 2 popular one was the panel discussion we did about 8 months ago on the 3 degrees of glory and the 3 degrees of brightness. And number 3 was staying bright through the holidays. So what you can find on that channel is we have 3 years of Utah's Brightest breakout. Not all the breakouts are on there, but a lot of them we put up on the YouTube channel. We have a bunch of side-by-side interviews from past people. We have Kelleen's interview where she told us about her hike to Kilimanjaro. We have an interview with the moms of young children. Diana was a part of that one. And we also have a really popular one, which was a panel discussion on being a guide. And so, yeah, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, then you'll be able to know as soon as there's a fresh new video that's going up. So that's our YouTube channel. And as far as the Come Follow Me post, the history of that is interesting. I just love words, and I love comparing the gospel, the principles of the gospel with the principles of Bright Line Eating. And so in the year of 2022, we were studying the Old Testament, and I wrote all the Come Follow Me posts in 2022. Every week I would write, and because I could see that there were so many parallels to like bondage and freedom and deliverance and surrender in the different stories of Elijah and Daniel in the lion's den. And I wrote down some of them. I went back and looked, and Psalms and Proverbs and Jonah and the whale. And so each week I would listen to podcasts and do the Come Follow Me studies and think about it and write about it. And it took hours, and I did it for the whole year. And then I realized about halfway through the New Testament in 2023 that I was like out of steam, out of juice, out of ideas, out of analogies. And I was never assigned to do it. It was just something I started doing. So it was really organic for me. And I didn't ask if I could do it. I just started posting Come Follow Me posts. And then it became a regular thing. And so at that point, in the middle of the New Testament, of the middle of 2023, I thought, well, what if all of the Facebook admins start writing? And I asked Genevieve, and she wrote the very first one. And so then we started taking turns of writing the Come Follow Me. And my life was so blessed to be able to hear different experiences and testimonies and different ways that people have surrendered and overcome their food addictions. So the Facebook admins wrote all the Come Follow Me's in the New Testament and all of the Come Follow Me's for Book of Mormon for last year. And then about 6 months ago, we decided, what if we invited other people and members of our community? And so we started doing that too, inviting other people in the community to write the Come Follow Me posts. And I think out of all the things that my favorite 2 things in our community are the weekly spotlights, where we get to learn about each other, and Roxanne is going to talk about that, but also to read the comments underneath the Come Follow Me posts too, of people whose lives have changed and who are transforming through the atonement of Jesus Christ. It's just it's so easy, as we're finding out on Tuesday nights, now that we're studying President Nelson's talks. It's so easy to take the principles of Bright Line Eating and combine them with the doctrine of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I think it strengthens all of us. So it's been a fun evolution to watch. And I love, love, love reading everybody else's Come Follow Me posts. And it's really nice to only write it once every 8 weeks instead of every week. I can think about it for a little bit longer and not have to come up with new stuff. So anyway, thanks for letting me blab my words onto the page every week. That's all.
I loved hearing that. I loved because I knew that you were really enjoying doing the Come Follow Me post, but I guess I didn't realize the evolution of it, Wendy. And so I really appreciated you explaining that as you were delving into the Come Follow Me, you were also reading it with bright line eating eyes and a bright line eating heart, and then basically meshing the two so that, truth is truth. So thank you for sharing that. I really love that. And yeah, it's a highlight. I get so much out of them. Thank you for doing that,
Thank
Wendy.
you.
All right. Roxanne. Roxanne has been nicknamed the heart of our admin group. So Roxanne spotlights the members of our group. And oh my goodness, there's so much that goes into this process from, picking the person, selecting the person, asking people to submit. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Roxanne to kind of walk us through that whole process.
I I love this position that I have. I've gotten to know so many wonderful, wonderful people doing this. And first of all, I just want to give my heartfelt thanks for those that have, agreed to be spotlighted and have been spotlighted. Because in, talking to people, texting back and forth, emailing, whatever the form of communication, I could feel quite a bit of hesitancy. And I know that this was really hard for a lot of people. It made them feel uncomfortable. It made them feel vulnerable. I mean, even though it's only 5 questions, I'm sure there are a lot of cases where it was just overwhelming and daunting. So for those that have done it, oh, my deepest, deepest, heart of gratitude for each and every one of you. And also I want to thank those that comment, because I think it's just as important as when you're reading the post that those that are commenting, because we're just showing all this love. We're showing all this love and support that we have for one another. And so it makes my heart just swell on the day or during that weekend when I go back and look and I just see the beautiful, beautiful comments that people have, posted on that person that had been spotlighted. I usually just request on our Facebook page, like, have you been spotlighted? And I will send out a message through Messenger or through Facebook and just ask if I can spotlight you. I also ask for recommendations. I get a lot of really good ones that way. So if you're thinking, I haven't seen so-and-so spotlighted, please, send me a message. Let me know of somebody that you would love to see spotlighted. I will certainly reach out to that person. Because it's definitely a way that we can get to know each other. One of the things that I always like to say is that we don't have to be all the way to our right size body yet. This isn't what spotlighting is about. Spotlighting is just allowing us to get to know each other, introduce yourself to the community, for us to get to know you. It's also, when we are asking these questions, if you're fairly new into the community, it is an amazing opportunity. If you're looking for more support, if you're looking for a mastermind group, if you're looking to join a Gideon Games team, a buddy, a guide, whatever you may feel like you need for extra support, I can if you've seen that, I put that in the spotlight, like, hey, if you're needing if you have an empty space right now, for something, please reach out to this person. And I hear back from these people saying, thank you so much. I'm in the best Gideon Games group now, or I have the most terrific buddy, or whatever the case may be. So it is working, that you are reaching out when you see that there's somebody that's asking for help. So it's just a really, really good source. But I think that a lot of people are hesitant, because when I do ask, they'll say, oh, well, I'm not all the way at my goal. They call it my goal weight yet, and I say, well, you don't have to be, and they, well, will you get back with me in a couple months, and so I think that would be the thing I would really love to emphasize, is that please don't hesitate in thinking that that's the reason that we want to spotlight you. The spotlight is to get to know you, to introduce you, to the community, is what we enjoy learning about you.
So, Roxanne, how is the best way for somebody to let you know that they're willing to be spotlighted?
Oh, reach out anyway. I mean, through Messenger, through Facebook Messenger, through through the admin. I can definitely give my phone number. You can text me. I can put that in the chat right now, my phone number. And so if you yourself would like to be spotlighted, if you know somebody, yes, please reach out. I will definitely reach out to whoever you're recommending, or if you yourself would like to be, but I think that the thing that I think of so many people are just so hesitant is they really feel like they're not there yet, like this is, a bright line eating. And so we hear so many amazing stories, and there are, and there are people that I have spotlighted that have tremendous, beautiful bright line eating stories. But that is not the focus of the spotlight either, is that's not the sole purpose for spotlighting. It's just to give your BLE, victory lap, and story there.
It's so fascinating. It's kind of like parting the curtain, and seeing what's behind the curtain. I love learning more about people and their journey. So, Roxanne, what are some of the most memorable things that you've learned from others that have been spotlighted?
I think I was thinking about this when you gave me that question. I thought, the overall thing, there's probably two things that come through almost every time. And it's like, for those that are in bright line eating, it seems like it's like 99.9%. We've all reached the end. We're at our wits' end about what to do. We have tried every diet known to man. And this was like our last ray of hope of thinking that maybe this is it, And then it's so interesting that on that same breath, it's the same feeling of like, oh, but when I heard there was no sugar and flour, I didn't know how in the world I was going to do that. I had no clue how in the world I could possibly do that. And then the other one that is so prevalent too is that it really is true what Susan says, that people come for the vanity and stay for the sanity, because every testament, it doesn't matter if you're just barely starting, if you're all the way, if you're in the middle, or if you're at the end and you're in maintenance. Everyone, when you finally can reach that point of where the sugar cravings have calmed down and all the food chatter's beginning to leave, it's not about the weight and the number on the scales anymore. Everybody just praises and sings the peace
Oh,
and the,
isn't that the
that finally
truth?
that realization that this is what other people feel, that when you can live without all that, it's not the number on the scales anymore. It's just the peace they want, and they found it,
Yeah, it's the
So
last thing
that's
we'd
a big
expect
thing.
to ever have happen to us. Yeah, so
Yeah.
true. Thank you,
Yeah.
Roxanne. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the day that somebody says, "Oh, yay, no more flour and sugar," is the day that I probably need to be picked up off the floor. So, yeah, thank you, honey. Beautiful. I love the
Yeah. Yeah.
highlights. The
And I want to add
highlights
one
are
more thing
such
real
a
quick,
joy.
Shauna. Thank
Sure.
you. Can I add just one more thing really quick? There are so many beautiful people that I have met, and but of course it's all virtual. But if any of you that are listening to this, if you see me at conference this weekend, this weekend, listen to me. If you come to conference in June, please come up to me and introduce yourself in person, because I just really want to give you that hug, because I've been doing it virtually for each and every one of them. And that's the one thing that I really want to hope is that even though it's these 5 questions, I hope that I am able to make you feel comfortable and feel the love, that I have for you, that, I will walk you through this. I will make it. So it's, you will be happy with the results. But do
Yes.
introduce
Oh,
yourself to me if you see me in June. I would love to see you in
and
person.
And trust me, she wasn't given the nickname the heart for no reason. She really does have the biggest heart. So she is one that you will definitely want to get a hug from. All right, we're going to move on to Stacy Fiala. Stacy, her nickname is the Smarts because boy, Stacy's got this beautiful ability to just scan a whole situation and just kind of get the nuts and bolts out of it. And so we really do value Stacy's input. Stacy's in charge of the 1 week buddies. And Stacy, would you mind explaining the process and what it does and what makes it so unique?
Yes, I would love to. I wanted to start by just telling you a little bit about how it came to be. I joined Brightline Eating in 2017 and was part of a Facebook group that the Brightline Eating community set up. It's a little bit different than it's done now. And so I was starting to make some connections there. Susan was, as she still does, talks all about connection and finding support and having daily support. And I think like many people, maybe I was a little hesitant to approach somebody that I didn't know personally, had only seen on Facebook and asked them to be my buddy. I actually joined a Brightline Eating group in Colorado where I was living at that time and met some wonderful people there, but we were very spread out geographically. So again, it was just kind of hard to make a connection with somebody that you see once every few months. So somewhere along the line, I found the LDS Facebook group, and I don't recall how I even found it, but there are so many parallels with Brightline Eating and the gospel. And I just thought, oh, if I could get to know some of these people better, they're my sisters in BLE and my sisters in the gospel. And I just knew that I'd be able to make some great connections. And so I had a friend in my Colorado group who belonged to another Christian BLE group. And she just mentioned one time that they did some kind of buddy thing at an event that she went to. And it just got me thinking. And so I set up 1 week buddies so that I could find some buddies. And at the time, I did not know anything about Facebook really in terms of how it is organized. Like it never occurred to me that somebody set it up and was sort of in charge. So I just got on and started running this little group without getting anybody's permission. So probably stepped on some toes there. So that's how it started. And the way you can join it is I post once a week. So the way it works, you sign up, we run 6 week rounds. You would get a new buddy every week. It would change each time. And so there's a sign up posted on our Facebook page, and then each week the new buddy pairs are posted. And I post them on the Thursday before the round starts. We go from Monday through Sunday. I set it up really at the time. For me, it felt like it worked best. And Susan often encourages a live contact with another Bright Lifer or another Brightline Eater. So that was my original intent, was that it would be a daily phone call that were meant to be short, 10 minutes or under. It's kind of evolved to where phone calls don't work for a lot of people. So some people like to use Marco Polo, some just like to text each other, and sometimes they do live phone calls. So I leave it up to each buddy pair to figure out what works best for them. When I'm participating, I always like to ask my buddy of the week, what is it that you are looking for from this relationship, so that we can kind of accommodate each other's schedules and what their desires are, what each of our desires are. So it's quite easy to sign up. Once the round has started, then the next opportunity is like 7 or 8 weeks down the road. But I've been running these. I did the math. We're on round 42 right now at the end of it. So that puts us back to more than 6 years that this has been going on. And I have met some of you I met through the 1 week buddies. So it's been a great thing.
It's a fabulous service. And I think later we'll talk about the difference between unilateral and bilateral. And so the 1 week buddies are where you can commit food, you can have accountability. You're both on the same level. And so it's such a beautiful service. Stacy, have you noticed or witnessed any like transformational experiences or any successes from the people that have benefited from the 1 week buddies?
Yeah. Can I just say, when you say it's bilateral, I do want to clarify that that doesn't mean that they have to be at the same point on the journey. I mean, that's the whole point, is that you're able to
Yes.
learn from somebody else. So
Thank you, Stacy.
you're welcome. Yeah, I have seen people come and go. Lots of people come and try it out and do it for a while and then move on. Other people come and stay for round after round after round. And from talking to some of those, I think many people have found that it's been a very important part of their journey. And many people have used 1 week buddies while they're losing their weight and are still using it now that they're at maintenance. So yeah, people are finding success with the program through having a daily contact.
Thank you, Stacy. That I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you just jumped in and got involved and so that
When I was asking people what some of their feelings were about it, everybody was very positive. I asked for negatives too, and nobody gave me any negatives. I know there are some negatives, but a couple of things that were interesting to me or that I hadn't really thought about. One gal told me that it helps her feel heard and seen in this community. And I think I mean, that was how it was for me as well, is that it gave me people that I could talk to that I might not have reached out to otherwise. And another interesting one that that someone told me was that they like the shorter period of connection. So the whole thing is only 6 weeks, so it's a good way to try out what is it like to have a daily buddy. And the 1 week part, some people you will really connect with and others not so much. And if you happen to get a buddy that is okay, I don't think anybody's had any really negative experiences, but if there's somebody that you don't really connect with, it's really a very short time. And then for those that you do connect with, very often that leads into a longer term friendship. And even though your week is over, you've started a relationship that you can continue if you desire. People also mentioned that it made it easier to go to live events, the conference, for example, and feel like, oh, there's somebody that I know, I'm excited to meet them. So that's another benefit as well.
I've always thought of it kind of like the speed dating of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, brightest eaters. So, you get a sample and your circle of friends gets bigger and bigger. So thank you for that,
Yeah.
Stacy. Well done. All right, what a treat. We have Vanessa Knuckles, who is the artist with flair in our group. She's our admin that has unlimited, incredible creative juice just constantly flowing from her. And we are so blessed. You may not see her a lot in front of the camera, but boy, I'll tell you what, she is invaluable. So Vanessa's over the graphics, the videos, so much of what you see at the conference every year. I can't even begin to tell you what Vanessa does for us. So Vanessa, go ahead and expound. Tell us even more.
Well, thank you for that. I'm sure there is a limit to what I can do. How I came to this group, first of all, is how it was presented to me is we need somebody young and techie. And I apparently in BLE land I'm young, but in real life I don't think I'm that young. And I had no idea what I was getting into, but I did know that the Facebook group it's the softest landing place you can find on the internet that I've ever found. Like, it's so just a loving community to belong to. And once I joined the admin team, I could see that the way that comes about is because these ladies, in their insane amount of wisdom, pray how can they help this group. They pray for the members of the group, they pray for ideas, they pray for just ways to support everybody. And it has helped me just immensely to be part of this. And so apparently my job is to just give you a visual of all of that love somehow. So yeah, so it's my pleasure to just convey all of their wisdom in a little square graphic for you guys to digest. And we've decided recently to redo some of the look of the group, so you might see that coming through in the next few days. So that will be fun, and we are going to center on a theme of joy. We all noticed in this last general conference that many talks were focused on joy and how we can find joy in life, and so we will be attempting to break that down for you and how you can find joy in the Brightline Eating journey too. So.
Yeah, so that's a little teaser that there's going to be new graphics popping up. So um yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Vanessa, I truly, this question comes from my heart, and that is, how do you continue to just recreate such wonderful things? And I mean, you really do have such a gift. So do you feel like it just comes naturally, or how do you get all of these wonderful artistic flares that constantly seem to come to you?
Well, a lot of it is if the information that I have to give is based on a picture, I can pull colors out of that picture and just sort of make it cohesive. Um, but yeah, I often will see graphics posted around the internet and say, "Ooh, that could be just nudged to the left just a little," and your brain would process it so much better. So I don't know. That's just how my vision works, and um, I really do think that it's a gift that was given to me, and I've worked hard to um, hone it a little bit, I guess, and hopefully that comes through. So
Oh, you're so good. You're so good at what you do, and you're so humble about it. And I really do believe that when you are wanting to do something for the service of your fellow beings, you really are blessed that much more. And I think that that's the case for you, Vanessa. So thank you. Thank you. And yeah, just notice little Vanessa's. Her touch is sprinkled all throughout our Facebook page. We're going to move on to Alicia Christensen, one of our newest little admins, and we're so excited to welcome Alicia. Alicia, believe it or not, this is brand new. This is brand new, and that's our Instagram uh, community. And so, Alicia, go ahead and explain to us about the Instagram page.
So I was thinking about that when you asked me the question because it's actually because it's so new, we're in process. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to decide what we want to do with it. We just know that there's a part of the community that doesn't have a whole lot of time, and there's a part of the there's a reach that we're not getting to because they don't do Facebook. So that's one of the things that we wanted to do is reach out to our LDS Brightest Eaters community and be able to reach more people and bring them in the process. And so that's at least that's the vision that Beth told me, and I've been just taking it on. And since I already do the Instagram was already doing the Instagram for our conference, it seemed like a easy transition there to do that. And I just love quotes. If you notice, I will post quotes all day, every day, all the time. I collect quotes. I even do like I'm an admin for my sister's page too. So it's all, inspirational quotes. And that's one of the things that I want to share on the Instagram page is give people inspiration. Sometimes you don't have very much time, and so you just have a little quote that says, "Hey, well, maybe that can get me through the day." And I would like feedback from everybody. What would you like to see in an Instagram post? Because we're in process and we're learning it, we're discovering what everybody needs, and we want to fulfill those needs. And so I would love feedback on what you would like to see in an Instagram post, um and then we can just go from there and make it what it is. So it's in process.
So, Alicia, I'm curious, are we able to find you just by, or find us? How do we find the the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Brightest Eaters?
So that's kind of funny. When I was setting up the Instagram, that's too many characters. The Brightest Eaters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, that Instagram doesn't allow that many characters. And so we decided as an admin team to do Brightest LDS Eaters. So you can go on, and I will post that here, and I will also post that again on our Facebook group so that people I'll send the link, and so you can go right directly there and join on Instagram.
So hashtag brightest LDS eaters.
Right.
Okay, nice. Do you see it just being posts, or do you foresee like videos or reels, or what's your vision?
I have set it up to do all of it. So it was a little bit of a challenge because we have a private Facebook group and and Instagram's very public. And so I was able to figure out the hoops to jump through to be able to do that. So if we do something that's a video related, I can actually share it on our other group. So on the Facebook group itself. So I can do it seamlessly back and forth. I just and we'll always be considering and what we want to post and decide from there. So, but we can do all of it.
I've loved what I've seen so far. So thank you so much. It really is fun to see your quotes and other things that are posted. So,
I have a question
all
for
right.
Alicia. Alicia, since
Sure.
since our Facebook group is closed and Instagram is public,
Mhm.
you don't pull private things off the Facebook group and put it on Instagram, do you? Because I think some people might post in the group knowing that it's private. So it's only
Yeah,
you.
I would
Okay.
I'd never pull anything from the Facebook group into the Instagram. If there's something that we want to share on both, I would post it on Instagram and then our Facebook group, but I would never do it the other way around.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I want to make sure that
Great
we have a
question.
privacy.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Wendy.
Yeah, just kind
yeah.
of keeping it safe for the
Right, keep it
Facebookers.
safe. And that was one of the concerns I had too, which is some of the workaround things that I did to make sure that we didn't have too many people that have their hands in the Instagram and things like that, so that we can make sure that the privacy is really restricted there. So there's a lot of things that I would never post on Instagram.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that your nickname is our public relations guru. So, our PR guru. So, anyway, pretty fun. All right. Diana Hawes. Oh my gosh, she's our newest little admin person, and we're so excited to have Diana. This is going to sound a little strange, but Diana is actually the motivator of our group because she's in charge of the coloring pages and scheduling our side-by-side Sunday interviews. And so, Diana, would you mind explaining what the coloring pages are and why the side-by-side Sundays are so valuable?
Hello, I'm so excited to be a part of this admin group. I had no idea before I joined the amount of work, love, prayers that goes behind the scenes to make this group as amazing as it is. So my responsibility is the coloring pages. And these were created, I'm gonna just see if we can, these were created by Vanessa, our wonderful graphics lady. This is my January one. And then there's also this one that goes like for the whole year. So you can color a day, for whatever, for being bright. I've heard of people using these for saying their prayers or exercising. But they're just such a great motivational piece just to be able to check off something. I'm a list maker. I like to check off things on my list when I accomplish them. And so to have coloring pages like this kind of just feels like, oh, I had a bright day. Check. I love it. And so that's one of the great motivators that is part of this group. The other one is the side-by-side interviews, that what we're here for tonight. These happen once a month. General, it not necessarily on a certain week, but we try to do them once a month, except for in June because of the conference. And we just have a variety of people that are spotlighted, whether it's an individual person. We've had a mother-daughter team. We've had panelists. A couple months ago, as Wendy mentioned, we had a group of moms that are doing Bright Line Eating share their journey. We've had so many others, and these are all located on the YouTube page for you to watch and to be motivated by. So it's just a good way to listen and to be able to learn from each other, and to kind of connect and to get to know each other so that we feel more connected. And so that's what I'm in charge of.
Oh, You're the best. Thank you, Diana. I had a question for you. If you could interview anybody that has ever lived or ever has existed, who would you interview on a side-by-side Sunday?
So when I thought about this question, I thought about it in terms of bright line eating, not necessarily like in my life, but and the person that came to mind was Joanne Campbell Rice. I would love to sit down next to her and just talk about her journey, how like what her life was before bright line eating. What are some of the challenges that she had that maybe brought her to bright line eating, and then how her um path to becoming a coach was. And that's kind of what came to my mind. The other one, if I could interview anybody else outside of bright line eating, I would probably interview my grandfather, who was my mother's dad. He passed away when she was a teenager, so I never got to meet him. And so I would love to just be able to talk to him and just get to know, the person that he was. And so those would be the two people that I would love to have a side by side with.
Oh, Diana, that's beautiful. I would agree. I think that Joanne Campbell Rice is probably the least transparent out of all of the coaches. And so I'd love to get that inside scoop. And yeah, your grandfather sounds awesome. I'd love to hear from him too. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. And then I, Shauna, am in charge of the Tuesday BEST, which stands for Brightest Eater Support Tribe. So it's the Tuesday night support group that we have every Tuesday. We're studying the Daily Joy. And then I'm also in charge of the 4-week guides. Okay. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about the Tuesday night support group. Wendy was the genius behind creating this Tuesday night group. And I won't go into all of the history behind it, but let me assure you that if you join us with an open heart and a willingness to find answers to support your recovery from food addiction, you will find it at this group. It is the perfect combination of the spiritual and the science of bright line eating, the spiritual with the doctrine of Jesus Christ, as well as the science of Susan Pierce Thompson and what she's brought to us. It's a 1-hour meeting that is coupled with 15 minutes before we begin and 15 minutes after we begin. And it starts sharp at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time for the actual meeting. However, 15 minutes before is for connection and 15 minutes after is for answering specific questions regarding your bright line eating journey. We are reading from President Nelson's book, Daily Joy, and it has been a beautiful experience to hear our prophet's voice speak to us and then hear through bright line eating ears and hearts that just really bring that truth to our recovery. And it's a beautiful opportunity to connect. We provide opportunities to guide and be guided, which leads me into my next part, which is the 4-week guide. The 4-week guide is unilateral, meaning that somebody, if they're your guide and you're the guidee, it's not that you're below them, but it means that you will only be directing your information to them. That guide will not be bringing their information to you. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to make commitments, have accountability, connect, understand the program better, be motivated. It's a really sound, solid approach to understanding that we just kind of need to get those training wheels on our bright line eating journey until we can carry ourselves onto the 5th, 6th week. And it makes your circle of support so much bigger. What happens is that I post every 4 weeks if you'd like to be a guide. And let me explain that a guide doesn't mean that you're at goal weight. It doesn't mean that you're perfect. It doesn't mean that you have all the answers. What it means is that you've got a willingness to give back what's been given to you to keep your bright lines bright, because we know that what we give is what we receive. And for me, it's been one of the greatest abilities for me to remember why I do Brightline Eating is because I don't wish to continue to have um, some of the struggles that some people are in right now. And it's a wonderful reminder. It also provides a wonderful opportunity to take daily commitments and then weekly contact. So if you are a person that does um, you just don't have a whole lot of time, it doesn't take a lot of time. It literally is taking a nightly report on what their commitment is for the next day or whatever. You two get to decide what your guidey program looks like. So that's the beauty of it. So there's a post in our Facebook group right now that says to please send me a private message. Tell me if you need a guide. Tell me if you want to be a guidee. Uh, anyway, it's available to start next week. Okay, so February 2nd is when the next round starts. It's free. We ask that nobody be looking for any kind of compensation. It's a service that we give freely. So we encourage everybody to take advantage of it. And yeah, just reach out to me privately. Okay, so with that said, we would like to ask if there's any questions for any of our admins, anyone that's attending. Are there any questions? Maybe it has to do with, I wanted Rexanne, I know that you put your contact in the chat, but I want to mention it so it's on the recording as well. Your cell phone is 757-348-8849. And
That's correct.
if you would like to be spotlighted, I wanted to give Rexanne an opportunity to have her cell number posted. So,
Thank you.
all right. Yes. All right.
Shauna, can I just add one other thing?
Yes,
If any of
Diana.
you have an idea of a panel or someone that you would like to see interviewed on a side by side, will you reach out to me as well? And let me know, and we can see if we can facilitate that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Such sweet comments in our chat. I wish I could read them all out loud, but just know, please, that every one of us on this admin group, we don't have it all figured out. We aren't above anyone. We're just other bozos on the bus. But the fact is that we really do feel like this is a stewardship. It's a gift that we are able to provide services and resources to help each of us overcome this addiction to food and to find recovery through the gospel of Jesus Christ. We don't have to do it alone. In fact, it's through community that we get through this, that we become successes. So I'd like to take this time and just thank all of our panelists. I'd like to thank Vanessa for the graphics and that beautiful video. Even though we didn't have music, it still is powerful. The fact that the transformations of those that are in our community and those successes go even beyond the physical. It's the peace, the contentment, the clarity, and the ability to feel guided by the Spirit. That's one of the greatest gifts that we have. There will be the recording available on YouTube here shortly. So thank you, everyone.
I want to thank
Appreciate
Shauna.
all your time.
I want to thank
Oh.
Shauna from all of us, you guys. Shauna she didn't even say what she is. She's the wisdom of the group, and Shauna is so full of wisdom and experience and spirit. And when we all wonder when we have all these ideas and wonder what direction we should go to, we always listen very strongly to what Shauna has to say. So thank you, Shauna, for being such a strong
You're
leader for
sweet.
us and such an example of recovery. You know, Kelleen and I were saying one time, we would say, what if, because we are all of the admins are all subscribed members. And we said, oh no, what if something happened and Brightline Eating, wasn't around anymore? And then Kelleen's like, we'll be just fine. We have a conference in June and we have our Facebook group and we have guides and buddies and spotlights and we have support meetings. And Beth is our expert on food. Like we've got food action support covered within our community of 2,000 people. And so I think, you know, Bright Line Eating has blessed our lives and but the gospel and our sistership, what's that? Our sisterhood has blessed us even more. And so I think we all feel so connected to all of you in this community. So thanks, Shauna, and Beth for starting this whole thing with all of us. We love you guys.
You're very sweet, Wendy. Thank you. We are pretty self-sufficient for sure. So thank you. All right, everyone, have a great evening. Thank you for your time. We sure love you.
Thank
Good
you for
night.
joining us.